Hi, today I'm going to give you our Japanese first reactions to the latest situation of Chinese people, Chinese immigrants from China in Japan. So, actually, I found an interesting article explaining the latest situation of the Chinese people who are living in Japan, so immigrants. So, I'm going to give you our Japanese first reactions by reading some Japanese influencers' comments, opinions posted on the bulletin board discussing this interesting story. So here is the story. So I was surprised to know the fact that according to the government, the official government report, Chinese people who are living in Japan, the total number of Chinese people who are living in Japan has reached 870,000. So which is the number is exactly the same as the total population of Wakayama Prefecture. So in Japan, there are 47 prefectures. So Wakayama is one of them, one of the 47 prefectures in Japan. And even though the total population of Wakayama has been one of the smallest numbers in Japanese total population, however, this is very surprising. They're exactly the same. The total number of Chinese people who are living in Japan is exactly the same as the total number of the total population of Wakayama Prefecture. And as you can imagine, the number of Chinese people who are living in Japan has been increasing. And just for your information, Japan has total population at less than 120 million people. However, the total population has been decreasing, as you know, due to the declining birth rate, and it's overpassed. The total number of new baby borns has been decreasing, and significantly for the past 20 years. So, and in the past, this article explains the situation. In the past, we saw only rich Chinese people who could make the living in Japan. However, recently, we have seen so many just ordinary middle-class Chinese people who started their lives in Japan. And in the past, this article has further explanation. In the past, there are two different types of the people. The first one is really elite, and international. That's a very smart student, only smart student, and they could become the rich and successful. And on the other hand, so the maybe low class of the Chinese people actually came to Japan for them to make some money. And this journalist who wrote this article said, like, in the past, Chinese people tried to adopt the culture, Japanese culture. For example, the biggest one here was language. So as you can imagine, there was big language barrier for Chinese people. That in the past. That's why Chinese people in the past were trying to learn Japanese language, and they were trying to speak Japanese in Japanese society. However, recently, due to the advancement and the penetration of SNS like WeChat, currently they have been able to live in Japan without learning Japanese language, because they have local community on social to help each other, and even they cannot speak Japanese language. They're okay. They're okay because society, the local organization, local community actually help each other. So, for example, this journalist, and we have seen several surprising news that suddenly some condominiums in Tokyo, the owner of some condominiums were switched from pure Japanese, owner to the newly coming Chinese owner, and suddenly the rental fee of this kind of condominium has been 2 times or 3 times higher when the new owner comes to the condominiums. So this is very surprising thing. And even inside the community, inside the Chinese people, it seems like there seems to like the conflict, and seems to like the contradiction. For example, Chinese people who have been living for a long time in Japan, who made the biggest effort to be adopted in the society, were a little bit uncomfortable with the newcomer from China, because they actually ignore the society, and they ignore the guideline, the ground rule and the local adaptation. So even though they are the same as the Chinese people, they look like different people, and we have to obey the local rule. However, they are really uncomfortable with the newcomers. So, and recently, many Japanese people have the biggest concern about this issue. And however, we have to accept the situation, and we have to accept more immigrants. That's for sure. And we understand the difficult situation now we are facing. So the bigger we have the social problem that are facing the declining population, aging society, the bigger we need support from the foreign countries and foreign people who have started their lives in Japan. So it's mutual. It must be the mutual